Hi everyone, I thought I would make a video here on the pros and cons of becoming a dentist or an orthodontist while I dry my hair. So let's get into it. I thought I would start to try to make a few more like long form videos for you guys on YouTube instead of, just reposting my TikToks. So I thought this would be a good place for me to just like rant about the dental field, or if you have any questions. So if you want me to cover a topic, just put it in the comments and I'll just go off of that and make some more videos. But I feel like this is a pretty hot topic right now because, is it worth it to go into the dental field? The pros and cons. The dental field does make so much money, but a lot of that is almost seen at like a corporate or private equity level now, and loans are so much money or are so high. So there's kind of like a lot to break down here. Kind of my journey. I went to undergrad at the University of Buffalo on a volleyball scholarship, so I didn't pay for college. Shout out to my mom and dad for driving me to club volleyball all the time. Makes me kind of sad because we didn't get to spend as much time together. Anyways, then after that, I moved back to Indiana for dental school for 4 years. And then after that, 2 more years of residency. My first year of dental school, I'm just kind of breaking this down because it applies to the money aspect. My dad paid for my tuition out of pocket. I still had loans for living expenses, but he paid for the tuition. And then my second year, I got really lucky. There was this new scholarship. This sweet man in like middle Indiana started this scholarship, covered tuition for the year. I was the only dental student that applied. That I didn't even, it wasn't based on literally anything I even did. I was just the only one that fit his like parameters. He only wanted kids from like these 5 counties he picked or something, and I was the only one that had even applied. So I got the entire scholarship. So my second year was also paid for. I still had living expenses, and then my third and fourth year, that scholarship I still got a little bit, but it was split up over multiple people. And then I had to pay for 2 years of residency. So I do still have a lot of loans. I have over $300,000 worth of loans. When you hear that and you hear how much free school I did get, that is alarming. So I would say the number one thing to kind of think about if you want to get into the dental field and be a dentist or orthodontist are the loans. Is your undergrad going to be free? If you do want to be a dentist, you should not be. I mean, you can do what you want, but you need to look at the cost of going to undergrad at a really expensive school, because those loans are going to add up. And dental school is very expensive. So if you can, try to save money by not going to a super expensive undergrad program. And then you also have to look at, are your parents going to pay for it? Are they going to pay for dental school? I had a lot of classmates whose parents paid for dental school, which was awesome. And every time I pay my loan payment, I'm like, man. But my dad did pay for the first year, so I can't even complain. But it shows you we all come from different backgrounds and all have things, hurdles. But the loans do add up. So you can get plenty of loans. But that's kind of the issue, is there is an endless opportunity to get loans. And that's where the issue comes in. But dental school is very expensive. I do think, based on my loans, it's still worth it. There are people that are in the 600,000-700,000. I would say it's not worth it at that point, but that's just me. But truly, I would, if that's going to be what where your loans are at when you graduate and be done, I would really think about it and what your long-term goals are. Because that is a lot of money. And dentists and orthodontists, they don't make money like they used to. Again, a lot of offices are being bought by corporations and private equity firms, and they're kind of taking a monopoly on the dental field. And so a lot of dentists and orthodontists that used to be able to make that money are losing out on the opportunity for that reason. One second. Okay, and number 2, I don't know if you've noticed, but there has been a huge uptick, and it also is just the newer generation. They document everything, but there's been a huge uptick of like dental students posting their life and their day-to-day journey, because I think they've seen how successful dentists can be online, and how successful their fellow maybe dental students have been online making money and everything. Because I do think that's kind of, I wanted to start this just to see what I could do. And it's been a huge blessing to have social media. And the people in dental school now, like, I think they see, oh no, this is a lot of money. And oh no, there's a lot more for them to learn about and realize, like what their potential is with earning and things like that. And so if they can build a platform, that's going to help them. And so I don't know, maybe it's just because I have dental TikTok, but I scroll and I see so many dental students, like everyone is doing it, which is awesome. But I do think that's why there's an uptick, is because it's so expensive and people realize, oh, this could help me in the future. And so more power to them. Okay, a pro of being a dentist or an orthodontist is you can pick what days you work. You don't have to work 5 days a week. You don't have to work 6 days a week. You don't have to work 2 days a week. You can work however many days you want. You just have to find the job or create the job that allows you to do that, which I think is awesome for women, because if you have kids, or maybe your kids are younger and you want to stay home with them, but then when they get older, you want to go back to the office more. There are so many different options for women to do that. Versus, my friends are awesome. They have amazing jobs in the corporate field, but sometimes, they want to work 4 days a week, or they want to work less, and you can't, just because that's the model of corporate America, and that's how things work. And so being a dentist and being able to sometimes pick those days if you want to, is awesome. So I really love that about the dental field. And that goes for men as well, not just women. If you want to stay home with your kids, all that, you definitely can. A con is, I do think that some of the materials we use in dentistry, they aren't good. They aren't good to inhale. The blue light's not good. We aren't looking at the blue light, but still. So I don't know what long-term effects that could have on me, but that is something I wonder about. And I guess I won't really know. I don't know. I don't think there are any really studies on that for dentists, but that's just something to take into consideration, that some of the chemicals and stuff you're breathing in every day, probably it's not good for you long term. Okay, another pro, this is kind of unrelated, but I loved my dental school experience and the friends that I made. I talk to them every single day still. If you're a people person and like you love that sort of environment, dental school is awesome, because you meet so many cool people that you just are lifelong friends with. It's basically like a grown-up college, and it's awesome. Which is probably what it's like for, the corporate world. If you're starting out on your first job, kind of the same thing. But it's so cool. You're doing the same thing as 100 other people for 4 years, and so you really get to know them. And the professors are awesome. So shout out Indiana Dental School. Another pro or con is you can make as little money as you want or as much money as you want. There's no real, there is a ceiling to some extent, but if you want to own your own practice, you can. If you just want to work for someone else and not have to worry about the practice, you can. You can own multiple practices. You can do so much. If you're more interested in the business side, you can get more involved in that. So I do think that is really cool. You're not just stuck to one thing. And I also that is why I like the dental field versus medicine, is that, it's really hard, and you're seeing now, like some people, like the residents in Buffalo aren't working and all that. You have to answer to hospitals, and there's a lot of people in charge of you still, and you don't get to make your own decisions because hospitals are owned by private equity groups and companies and insurance companies. And so in the dental field, it's not necessarily like that all the time. Maybe a dentist owns your office, or maybe a corporation does, but a lot of times you can find the right fit for you where you have a lot of autonomy, and you're able to make your own decisions that's best for the patient, versus medicine. We're kind of seeing that is not necessarily always the case. So that is a pro. Okay, and the last one is obviously the most important one, is that you get to help so many people, especially I'm an orthodontist, changing their smile. I mean, you improve people's confidence, you literally change their entire life. When they leave, they're most of the time, they feel like a different person. They have so much more confidence. You've built such a cool relationship with them because you've seen them so often. So, that is my favorite thing, is getting to know the patients and treat them and make them happy, and try to make sure that they're heard and understood if they have any questions or concerns. Because I know some people feel like when they go to the doctor, people aren't listening to them or are understanding what they're saying. So that is a big thing for me, is just giving people time and space to tell me their problems and see what I can do. And if I can't help them, figure out who can. So, okay guys, that's it for today. I'm gonna go enjoy the day in New York. Leave your questions below and I'll make a new video this week of something you wanna know. Thanks, bye.